once in my life, I have someone who needs me, someone I needed so long. For once unafraid, I can go where life leads me. Somehow I know I'll be strong. For once I can touch what my heart used to dream of long before I knew.
Hey, what's up, everybody? This is Corey.
And this is Chutney.
And we are young, black, educated, and in love. And we want to welcome you back for the second episode. And we want to thank everyone who's been watching this. Over 500 views, even though it may not seem like a lot, we are reaching people. And that's what we were called to do, and that's what we love doing. So to start today's video off, we have a little humor for you. I told a lot of people that I was going to get 4 wisdom teeth removed. And I did. And after I got those wisdom teeth removed, boy, yes. So tell them a little bit about it.
So, at this particular oral surgeon's office, the person who goes with the patient has to wait at the office while the surgery is being performed. So after about 30-45 minutes, it was a fairly short surgery, the dental hygienist came back to get me, and she made a point to let me know that Corey was very happy, if you will. But those were actually her words. So I wasn't sure what to expect. I knew they had put him under some type of medication, but I didn't know how much. So I will let you take a look at the video. It's a pretty short video, and see for yourself what I found when I got back there. Check it out.
Okay, it's going.
She had text from me.
And he's really not even supposed to be talking right now. He's supposed to have the gauze. Right, so you should lay back and be quiet.
I said, yeah, baby. It's Chutney. It abused me.
So you wrote this as well?
Yeah, I just went and figured out this was
right.
Abused me.
35.
Yeah. So, we're laughing because we remember the video, and I took it on my phone. I shot it on my telephone, so we've watched it a couple times since then. But for those of you who don't know, Corey does not drink, nor does he do any kind of drugs. So I had never seen Corey intoxicated or under the influence of anything. So it was almost a bit...
Your boy was feeling good, man. Hey.
As he said. But it was almost a bit weird because it was just so different, but it was definitely funny. It was hilarious. So so we just wanted to share that with you, give you a little insight into the life and times of Chutney and Corey, and just make you laugh a little bit.
See, I was vulnerable because now I'm embarrassed. But we're gonna jump into today's topic because we've been receiving emails from individuals asking us, how do our relationship work? And people want to, people appreciate seeing a young black couple that seems to be excited about the relationship, that's not ashamed of each other and love telling others about our relationship. And so we sat down and had a conversation and said, let's do a video on what makes our relationship work. And so we came up with 3 different things that we felt beyond spirituality. Let me say, spirituality is by far, that was #1 in our relationship. But beyond spirituality, the 3 things we identified was respect, communication, and what's the third one?
Trust.
And trust. See, she has to trust me to know that stuff. I had to trust her to know it because she knew it. But we identified those 3 things. And so Chutney is going to start off talking about trust. And she's going to talk about why trust was important in our relationship and how that looks in our relationship.
Trust was very important for me in particular. I think even more so for Corey, because it was an issue coming out of my past relationship before meeting Corey. In that relationship, there was little to no trust. And so I knew that any subsequent relationships, trust was going to be a must-have. And it should be anyway, but I knew to scout that out even more so in the future. So because Corey and I were a distance couple, distance manifested or presented itself or had to be acted out in slightly different ways than if we maybe had been in person. And so one of the ways I was able to judge whether I could eventually trust Corey was he was always very very specific about making sure to back up his his words with his actions. So, for instance, if he said he would call at 8 o'clock, then he made sure to call at 8 o'clock. And if he couldn't, then he would send me a text message or let me know in some kind of way that he wasn't going to be able to call me at that point. I'm out with the guys, or I have an event, or something like that. Also, another thing, and again, this is a very small example, but those things built up over time, and again, let me know that, okay, this is somebody that I think that, you know, I could eventually trust. Another thing, again, that I thought was very important to let you guys know is that trust is a two-way street, and we both agree with that, and we think that, I know a lot of times we talk about someone has to earn your trust or to gain your trust, but in order for that to happen, you have to allow that person the opportunity to show that they can be trusted, to prove that they can be trusted. And sometimes, ladies and men, if we've been hurt in a relationship, then sometimes it's difficult for us to allow ourselves to be vulnerable or to be open so that someone can show that they're trustworthy, and to kind of risk being that trust being broken or our hearts being broken. So but it's important that you do that, and you start small. Again, like I said before, something as simple as him keeping his word about when he's going to call. That's something that's very small, but a baby step for that person to build their trust and for you to show that you can trust that person.
Right. And so the second, I guess you could say, basic element of our relationship is communication. And you have to communicate not only by words, but by actions. And I know we learn verbal communication, but it's a such thing as non-verbal communication. And, you know, like the look I gave her, I let her know, hey, I'm gonna get you. If I would have did that, I don't know if I would have got her.
No,
but
not look at me that way, trust me.
But non-verbal communication is very important. I tried to back up the things I said with actions. That's why I called and let her know. I let her know I was out with the guys, or if I'm going to choir rehearsal, or if whatever I'm doing, I tried to let her know. And I think what's important when she talked about individuals that have previous bad relationships, to when you recognize that, you know, the communication has to be there, because more than likely that relationship was a result of a lack of communication. And so you have to learn to communicate, and I knew that, and so I communicated with her everything. And I wanted her to be comfortable with me. I wanted her to know that I'm only for you. And that's what you have to communicate. This is about you and I. That's what it's about. And once you feel that, then you start trusting the other person. And I think that's what we both did. She made me feel like it was only about me. I tried to make it feel like it was only about her. And so communication is really, really, really important. Not just verbal, also your non-verbals, your actions. Okay? And the last thing is respect. And so I'm gonna let Chutney talk about respect.
Respect is also an interesting one for us, because we definitely made sure that we respected one another as individuals before we entered into the relationship. There were several things about Corey that I respected about him as a man and as an individual before I even before we got into a relationship, and then there was a level of respect that came with him being my fiance. So for instance, you know, we met online, as some of you may know. We can talk about that later. But it was when MySpace was big. I know it's kind of...
They're kind of laughing at us now. They were on MySpace. They ancient.
kind of antiquated now. But anyway, so, but his profile was very respectable. And even beyond that, from us having conversations and by the time we met and all of that kind of thing, like I said before, Corey didn't drink. He didn't... was very God-fearing. He had wonderful relationships with his mom and his sisters. And for ladies out there, a man, the way he treats his mother and his sisters, I think is key to the way that he's going to treat you.
I love my sisters and my mom.
So look out for that. But yeah, so he had all these wonderful relationships with his family. So all of these things were things that caused me to have a lot of respect for him as a man, as an individual. He was going for his PhD. We had similar goals in life. And so these were also things that sparked more of an interest in him from me to let me know that, I think this is somebody that I could see myself with eventually.
Right, and I respected her also. When she was involved with Big Brothers Big Sisters, and to me that just tells a lot about an individual that give their time. And so that created that respect. The way she carried herself like a queen. And I always tell you ladies, be a queen, not a jester. You want to be a queen.
Yeah.
And when a guy sees you as a queen, he's going to respect you because he has no choice but to respect you. Queens demand respect, and she demanded a little respect, so your boy gave her the respect. And I pulled it in, and I'm a king, so you already know I had to have a queen on my shoulder. But we just wanted to share those things with you.
One more thing?
Oh, yeah, go tell the people something.
Also, I wanted to say that make sure you respect yourselves.
Oh,
it's
yeah.
very hard for you to be able to recognize respect from someone else if you don't have respect
Right.
for yourself. And that can present itself, self-respect can present itself in several different ways. As he said, the way you dress, the way you carry yourself, the things that you do and do not do, those are all things that can show someone else whether you respect yourself. And if they can see that you don't respect yourself, then why are they going
Right.
to feel that they should respect you? So again,
Right.
the whole being a queen and not a jester concept comes into play. Very important.
Right. So every Monday we will have these videos available for you. So tune in. We thank you for the love. We thank you for the support. And you have a wonderful and blessed day.
Bye.